All right, guys, hold up because everything that you know about what's going on with Ilia Topuria and the controversy that's kind of surrounding his leave of absence, so to speak, just kind of took a wild turn, right? There's a lot of fake headlines out there. There's court rumors, allegations of abuse, media blowback. Fellow peers are really pissed at him right now. I'll kind of get into all that, guys. And then now, the UFC lightweight champ is finally clapping back, and I kind of want to get into what's really going on here and why this matters more than people think. But welcome back, guys. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. Please smash a like and subscribe. You guys know the drill. We cover all the latest trending stories when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, WWE, and boxing. No fluff, no fillers, real fight talk. So let's get right into what's going on here. First things first, Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria is coming off an insane 2025, even though he has subsequently taken a leave of absence at the tail end of 2025. He is a two-division UFC champion, probably one of the most dangerous fighters in combat sports. I say that respectively because when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, the Octagon, he's very, very skilled at what he does. He's at the top of his charts. Okay, he's the champ, and I would almost go on to say probably one of the most dangerous fighters on the planet today. And so we know that Ilia has requested some time off. He wanted a leave of absence. He actually penned a letter to the world, to his fans, to the people who follow him, basically telling people that he needed to take some time off to deal with some personal things in his life, and he wanted to kind of get away from the noise and everything that's going on in the Octagon in the world of combat sports, especially UFC, MMA, so he could focus on his family, and so we all respected that, and we gave him his privacy. But yeah, stepping away for personal issues, that without question, I mean, that's just something that we have to acknowledge and we have to respect. The UFC had actually no choice but to create an interim lightweight title, where there was some controversy surrounding that because they actually have Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. They're going to be fighting for that title, and so there's a little controversy around that because there's folks that feel that Arman Sarukian should actually be in the mix for that. He's been waiting in line. He's accomplished what he had to accomplish. He's done what he had to do. And, his last fight with Dan Hooker kind of basically proved that he should definitely be considered or be given honorable mention or be a strong candidate for that fight. For whatever reason, Dana decided to go with Gaethje and Pimblett. And so anyways, there's controversy surrounding that. There's controversy surrounding the two division champion Ilia, and could he potentially be stripped of his title or not? I mean, those are questions that a lot of people are happening. But because of all this noise that's happening here in the world of UFC, the division's just been upside down. It's been in kind of like an unorderly, chaotic kind of realm, so to speak, right? Rankings are all over the place. Fighters don't really know what all's going on. But here's where things get really messy, right? Over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of news surrounding Ilia. And one of those news is that while Ilia had stepped away, requesting privacy and wanting to stay away from all the noise that's going on, it seems like Ilia is very active on social media, more than he's ever been before. He's been clapping back at his fellow peers, taking digs at his peers. He's been very, very vocal on how he feels about what's going on in his own company within the UFC, but in the world of MMA, I mean, again, more than he's ever been when he was an active fighter. So I thought Ilia wanted to step away because of personal reasons and things that he said he wants to be able to focus more on his family and not not his profession right now, but it seems like he's just very actively involved. But the bigger story here is that there's been a lot of reports that have been coming down the pipe in terms of Ilia Topuria's divorce. There's been allegations of abuse potentially, and suddenly, the headlines are claiming that he's been summoned to court for domestic violence. And so, according to Topuria, that part is just flat out false, right? This is what Topuria is claiming. So here's what Topuria actually said. He came out and he said that one particular media outlet had crossed the line. We're not going to mention who, but they straight up published a fake headline. He made it clear that he has not been summoned to testify in a domestic violence case. The court appearance had nothing to do with that. It was strictly a family and administrative matter involving his daughter. Now, this part hits hard because he says he hasn't even been able to see his daughter in 4 months. That is pretty heavy stuff, guys. He's also acknowledged something important, that he understands that being a public figure comes with a lot of scrutiny, but spreading unverified information, especially involving a minor, is where he draws the line. And this is why he felt compelled to come back and clap back and kind of speak his piece, so to speak. So honestly, I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, I think any father in that position would want to do the same. Again, we're not taking sides here. We don't know what all is going on, but these are things that Ilia Topuria said, and he came out, and we're just reporting that as that news is kind of coming down the wire. So we've seen this movie though one too many times kind of play out, right? A fighter steps away, the media starts to smell blood, right? Now you got to understand, Topuria is an elite fighter, probably the best of the best right now. And he's the champ, right? And when the champion steps away for these kind of reasons, the media is not going to let it go. When they smell blood, I mean, they're going to look and investigate every nook and cranny till they find something tangible enough that they can report on. Okay? And suddenly, every rumor becomes a headline. Now, whether you like Ilia Topuria or not, that's besides the fact. The facts here matter. If a headline gets changed after it goes viral, the damage is already done, right? So let's not ignore the whole timing when it comes to this. This all comes. This is all happening after Topuria has claimed, right, that he has filed for divorce. That he refused unreasonable financial demands. He was claiming that there's been some egregious financial demands requested of him to make the story go away. And this is kind of where he drew the line. And he said no, which is why he wanted it to go through litigation, through the judicial process, and go to court to fight because he felt that he's being wronged. And then weeks later, he's now facing allegations of abuse, right? And he says that this is just compounding on top of everything that's going on in his personal life. Now, again, we're not here to take sides. We're not saying who's right, who's wrong. That's for the courts to decide. But I mean, trial by media, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. So look, I mean, if we're going to talk about Ilia. We're going to talk about his future. He is the current champion. There's already talks now. Could the UFC potentially strip him of his title? All kinds of things. All kinds of things people are saying, right? And I call it all noise. This is exactly why Ilia wanted to step away in the first place, to get away from all this noise that's going on so he can focus with a clear mind on his family and the things that are happening in his life. I don't think it helped that Ilia started to talk and take digs at other fighters about who he thought was a better fighter, who how he could beat somebody, like the things he was saying about Arman and Makachev. And, I don't think that really helps his case right now. If he wants to step away, he needs to stay away. Cold turkey. Now, if he feels compelled to get on social media to fight for his honor, his integrity, his name, then he has every right to do that. That's fine. But when you're talking about other fights that are happening in the world and stuff, I mean, the circumstances surrounding Ilia Topuria are a lot different than what they were before. And I think he needs to take a page out of his own book and just walk away now, deal with this stuff, and then come back. Right? So if this situation continues to drag on longer than expected, this whole interim champion talk could potentially be gaining a lot more momentum. The UFC might feel compelled and pressured to engage with Topuria to make him come back earlier, or return earlier, and threaten him with stripping him of his title, right? And this could potentially end up ruining and hurting Ilia's legacy, because right now the lightweight division, as I said, is there's a little bit of disorder happening in the division, but the division is still moving on. It's moving past Ilia right now, without him. And when you're gone long enough, the game is not going to wait for you. Still, if Topuria comes back, cleared, focused, motivated, that could be terrifying for everybody at 155 pounds. That's if he comes back, and he comes back soon. There's talks about him coming back in the first quarter of this year. I mean, that remains to be seen. This isn't just about Ilia, remember, right? This is about media responsibility, fighter, mental health. Look what's going on with BJ Penn. BJ Penn is one of those guys, like, he just went from, here to down here like that. And that's how fast a narrative can change. And I'm not just talking about it from a media perspective, because when I'm talking about narratives, you might associate that with storylines, but I'm talking about real life here. Like, these are real people. They fight. It's an entertainment for us, but they are human beings at the end of the day. They have emotions like you and I do. They cry, they laugh, they cheer, they hug, they angry, they're mad, they're sad, they're upset. They go through all the things that we do. They're no different than us, other than the fact that they're elite fighters and they fight to entertain, and that's how they make a career. Now, it is starting. There's a lot more headlines circulating about Ilia, and I'm just worried this is going to break his mental health, and lose his focus on what he needs to be focusing on right now, which is his family. Like, sometimes, unfortunately, in the media, narratives get written even quicker before the truth shows up. And unfortunately, usually those are the first things people hear, read, and see. And sometimes, once that's in your brain, it's ingrained in somebody's head, it becomes a truth, even if it's not. So in combat sports, unfortunately, that stuff sticks, right? Bottom line, like Ilia Topuria saying that the media got it wrong. So he came out, he tried to clear it up from his perspective, but we'll have to see what the courts decide. Right now, he's asking for facts, not clicks, and until proven otherwise, guys, and until proven guilty, he remains innocent, right? That deserves at least a fair listen, right? So I think stepping away right now might actually be the smartest thing he's done. But when he steps away, he needs to step away. Step away. Don't come back. Not even partially. Not even to chime in on a fight. Not even to talk about the division or who he likes, who he doesn't like. Step away. Cold turkey. So anyways, guys, that's what I wanted to chat with you guys about. I'm going to be following this story very, very carefully because there's some other things that are kind of coming down the pipe as well. We haven't been able to authenticate, verify it. So as they become available to us, or as that information becomes clearer to us, then I'll gladly report it to you guys. But for now, those are my thoughts. Those are my comments. I want to hear from you guys. Did the media cross the line in this one, or are they just doing what they do? And do you think Ilia took the bait and when he shouldn't have, and he should have just stayed away, or do you think it was the right thing for him to do? Come back on social media and clear up his name. But that's fine, in my opinion. But I also want to hear from you guys if you think that if somebody is asking to step away from the profession that they love the most, because they want to focus on their family, does it make sense for that same individual to be chiming in on his fellow peers and fighters and what's going on in his organization? Is that okay? Or do you think he should just step away? Drop your thoughts and comments below, guys. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please smash a like and subscribe. Join us here on Duality 7X for more fight talk, because we've got plenty more coming, guys. We're just getting started. I look forward to catching you guys on the next one.